Welcome back to the Fast and the Devious podcast. I have just me and then Connor. And today we'll be discussing fast food rankings. So, Connor, you've lived in multiple states. What can you say about the fast food choices there?
I think across all the states, consistently for the longest time, you can always get the best fast food at Chick-fil-A. You can't go wrong with. Well, you actually can go wrong with it. Their founder died, and they've changed the recipe of their fries, and now they're terrible.
Wait, really?
So,
Oh, I actually had it the other day. I didn't even notice, but I'll have to try that again to keep that in mind. Wait a minute, does that mean they're still homophobic
keep it
or
in
not?
mind.
I mean, if their founder is dead,
Still
at least
homophobic.
still homophobic. Yeah, I can taste the agenda with every bite. It's crazy.
Every time you bite it, Trump gets more powerful. So you just gotta.
Oh gosh. So, Chick-fil-A, that's a good one. I have just kind of a list here. Maybe I'll share here. I'll just share my screen with you, Connor. For people listening, they won't be able to see my screen, obviously, and that's fine because just for us. But so we got a list here. Yeah, I think I might pull up my notebook too, so we keep track. I'll do that in a second. So there's three categories that I think
like a tier list.
Okay, tier list. So while I'm pulling this up, there's three main categories that I think of for fast food. There's pizza, there's chicken, and there's burgers. What do you think about those three? Like, what are your preferences?
And pizza and burgers, I feel like those are good, but there's a lot of good fast food that doesn't fit that category. Like, where would you put Panda Express?
Panda Express? I mean, that's not... I mean, it's not really fat. So, there's kind of a movement going on where... So, it used to be there'd be just sit-down restaurants and fast food restaurants. Around maybe the early 2000s, there was a bit of a movement. They kind of blurred the lines. So, for example, McDonald's back in the day used to be really dirty. It was kind of like a, family place. It was just kind of like, classic fast food stereotype. Eventually, there were places like, Chipotle or... Yeah, Chipotle is a classic example. It's not really a sit-down restaurant, but it's not really fast food. Obviously, there's no drive-through. But it's not as formal as, say... wow, I don't know anywhere formal. Olive Garden does not count, in my opinion.
Factory.
Wait, what did you say? Pasta Factory?
Factory.
Spaghetti Factory? Is that what you said?
Cake Factory. It's the best restaurant.
All right. Old Spaghetti Factory is pretty good. So, then eventually, when Chipotle and places like that started doing it, then McDonald's kind of adapted. And now, that's when they started doing all the redesigns. Now it has that weird sleek modern interior that I hate.
There's no play place.
Yeah, they've lost touch. It's sad. So, places like Panda Express...
I'm not that sad about that, because I was kind of scared of the play place as a kid. I wouldn't go all the way to the top.
Justifiably so. But you want it there just for, aesthetic purposes, Just to know there's something still real in this world. Right?
So we know kids are doing something other than playing on their iPads. But wait, I remember, actually, I went to a McDonald's that still had a play place, and the kids were just sitting in the play place on the iPad.
Lame.
An elevated iPad.
If there's
experience.
not, a massive pool of urine at the end of that slide on the play place, you're not in a real McDonald's. Sorry.
You can't know it's authentic. At that point, it might as well be Chinese.
If there's not a big pile, if there's not, a giant pool of pee, how do I know the fries are real? How do I know the burgers are real? How do I know I'm not eating, Soylent Green or something? Right?
Do you know what's special about, McDonald's fries?
What's special about them?
They're made from, these potatoes that, they get, these, fungal infections, so they poison all the potatoes. And they put them in a big warehouse and spray them with, fungal, antifungal spray. And then they become, toxic, so they just leave them there for, weeks for, the poison, evaporate. So, they're, the most processed fries imaginable. That white color without any of, the brown spots, you'll see in other French fries that are cut from normal potatoes. That's why McDonald's French fries are so perfect.
That's very interesting.
So,
although, if I'm being completely honest, are we surprised? It's McDonald's. It's processed, very processed. Nathan the other day just on online said he doesn't eat processed food. He doesn't like fast food, that kind of thing. That'd be like his worst nightmare. I mean, do you remember that hoax a few years ago about the McDonald's nuggets? How they're like this pink paste, and there's this guy that like tore the entire factory to like disprove it. Does that ring a
Not
bell?
real though. Like, that's how you make all. That's how you make all chicken nuggets. You just grind up the carcass of like the bones and cartilage and squirt it out of a tube.
I knew that, but the claim was that it wasn't even made out of meat. It was made of like this other stuff, but it was meat. And the factory video
If you
showed
count
that.
if you count like cartilage and bone as meat, I guess.
Yeah, well,
Bad.
honestly, I mean,
I like McNuggets.
people say you don't want to know how that hot dog is made. I know exactly how hot dogs are made, and I will tour a hot dog factory gladly. If there's anyone listening who owns a hot dog factory or works there, I mean, get me a tour. So I'll watch the whole process and you one immediately after. I do not care. That being said,
Yeah, I don't care. If food is food. Like all food is nasty. Like vegans will show you videos of like, look how they dismember pigs and like, look at them like cutting the rabbits.
All right, while you're figuring that out,
I need to listen to this announcement.
All right, go ahead. All right, well, Connor is listening to an announcement. I should say that, obviously I care about animal rights and I care about my health. That being said, there are some things I don't care about, and I do not care how hot dogs are made. I do care, and I do know how they are made. The part I don't care about is whether or not I'm putting that in my body, because I will put it in my body because it tastes good. There are some processes I do not approve of, I guess. Like, there's just needless chemicals inside the Big Mac for no reason. Like, they'll just put all these chemicals in there that they could put other ones that are way better and healthier, but they just don't. It'll probably not change anything. So, it's a needless processed food that is, Babby, you're eating at your own risk. I mean, why would you eat McDonald's and then blame them for it? Like, there's a lawsuit about people getting fat after eating McDonald's. Like, are you stupid? I mean, you're the one doing it to yourself. Like, why are you punching yourself? Why are you punching yourself like that? I mean, am I complaining about, I don't know. Wow, I can't think of
Kind of
any.
be like suing a cigarette company for giving you lung cancer.
Yeah. Yeah, just do what Walter White did instead. So McDonald's, very processed, but I like McDonald's. So should we start with the tier list now? Do we have that out of the way?
Let's hit it.
Okay, McDonald's. We just talked about that. Should that be let's see. This is kind of a weird ranking. So actually, let me change this. Okay. All right, where does McDonald's go? I say at least C minimum, but B. I'm not opposed to it.
I'm torn. Like, I just had a Big and Tasty the other day because I saw the Donald Trump ad where they're talking about the Big Mac, and so I ordered one. It was
Really?
not filling.
You know what's funny? McDonald's claims they do not endorse Trump. Is that like kind of nonsense? I mean, it's like a part of his campaign.
The only reason I voted for him is because of that ad, okay? The McDonald's
okay.
ad. That's why I support him.
Yeah, he's a real American. He could have run off with the money, but instead he chose to make that ad on McDonald's. He could have
retired,
president.
but he came back for Squid Games too.
Oh yeah. Okay, so I say we keep McDonald's in C tier unless everything else is like so bad that comparably it boosts it. So let's just keep it there for now.
I think C tier is a good rating for McDonald's because it's like the baseline for all fast food. It's consistent everywhere you go. You're getting the same thing.
And McDonald's is what you're always comparing it to. Whether it's better or worse, you're like, well, it's better than McDonald's, or this is worse than McDonald's. That's what you're comparing it to. So, yeah,
wait.
Neutral.
So saying something's better than McDonald's is not a compliment, though. So I feel like McDonald's can't be C tier, though, because like if you say something's worse than McDonald's, that's not saying it's below average. That's saying it's terrible. Like, I've never said, oh, it's worse than McDonald's, meaning that it's just below average. I mean, it's terrible. Maybe McDonald's is actually a D tier. I don't know.
Well, I'd say we keep it in C tier because this is really early in the ranking. Okay, have you been to Dairy Queen?
But I have been to Dairy Queen, and I love Dairy Queen.
You love Dairy Queen. All right, was it their ice cream or their food?
Their ice cream. I've never had their food. I had their French fries though.
Okay, what do you think about their French fries? Do you remember?
They're pretty good. I
Pretty good.
mean, I always, whenever I get ice cream, I get French fries to dip in it. I don't know if I'm the only one, but
No,
I
I do
love
that.
dipping salty French fries and ice cream goes well. Somebody stole our chair.
Someone in real life? Are you just standing up right now?
We had two, and somebody stole the other one.
Oh man, man, you've been talking about so much
No,
military
the room was
stuff
open.
that like now I like last night I had like a dream about it. Crazy.
You had a dream you joined the military? That is terrible.
I dreamt that I was one of the fast food guys who works out on base, like the PX retail workers. That was my dream.
Oh,
Yeah,
my dream to become a PX Marine. Easy life, easy money.
but imagine going through all the training just to be a PX guy. I mean, I guess honestly, that's probably a good move because then you don't have to do as much. I assume. But at that point, why not just
It's chill.
be a PX retail worker for like the army or something? I don't know. Just my opinion.
That's why you got to become a staff sergeant first. Then you can be a PX Marine and no one can make fun of you because you've done your time. You did the stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, not to get distracted, but that announcement earlier was just the Sergeant Potter saying not to come to her office or she'll make you do burpees.
The
They
heck?
care a lot about us. Just stop coming to my office. It's after hours.
Do you want me to remove the her name so I don't dox you, or is it fine?
I don't think anybody's going to find them unless they have, like, Marine Online. They can look up
Okay.
Fort
Yeah.
Sill. Doxed.
All right. We're good then.
Come
So
get me, China. I'm in room. Come kill me.
what? Okay, that's wild. All right. Dairy Queen. So I can agree on their ice cream. So we're putting that. Actually, C, because their food is terrible, but their ice cream is good. So that kind of like cancels itself out. So that's like balance, So C tier.
Ice cream is actually really good. I've never been disappointed by their ice cream.
All right. So let's throw a curveball here. Domino's Pizza. You had Domino's?
There was a Domino's actually at MCRD. It was the only restaurant there. Family Day, everybody sprinted for the Domino's, and there was like 500 people in line for Domino's.
Burger King was the equivalent when my dad was in the military. There was nothing else besides Burger King. They're sick of it now. So
Dude, I would hate that. Burger King is... Oh, we're going to get to that later, I guess.
yeah, let's not spoil it.
Yeah.
So Domino's Pizza, was it good because it's convenient or good because it's genuinely good?
It's good pizza, but it's overpriced. Have you look up the price of a Domino's pizza? You'd be disgusted.
Okay, so just here.
I remember sending a meme actually in the server a long time ago. Showed like finance a pizza from Domino's.
To finance a pizza from Domino's. Like it's a mortgage.
Yeah. That was an actual thing they were offering.
All right, can you just here ramble about something food related
Whatever.
while I'm looking at these prices?
Everybody ran to the Domino's because they wanted to get a pizza. I'm like, dude, if you eat that, you're gonna you haven't had grease in 3 months. You shouldn't eat that. Nobody listened. Like everyone that ate Domino's was like throwing up and having diarrhea because they had eaten just Chow Hall food, like Camp Chow Hall, so nothing greasy. They ate a Domino's pizza. Everyone threw up. Did is I went to the cafe and bought a panini. It was pretty good, and a couple churros.
So is it kind of like how African kids would die if you gave them McDonald's because it's all processed?
I honestly think they would. Maybe you can just look up, you don't need to check the website. I don't think you're going to get, they don't even want to show you how expensive it's going to be.
Yeah, well, all right, well, let's assume, yeah. All right, we'll
It
just shelf that.
$22 for, a large pizza. It was something insane. And on the PX, there was, the only ones. It was literally, $30 a pizza. It was absurd.
You said vapes are $100, though. People are willing to pay these prices.
I mean, vapes were illegal, though. This was an actual store. People selling vapes would sell them for $100 or $200.
Yeah,
But...
well, I mean, let's see, vape. Let me just search up vape price. I mean, none of us vape. But let me just search up vape prices. See how much. Okay, for a pod. I don't know.
Pretty cheap. Wow.
Okay, I think a vape itself
Three-star
is
vape.
$20, and then a pod is probably cheaper. I don't know. Okay, so
I actually have no interest in vaping, so I wouldn't know.
okay, I say we put
Yeah,
Domino's.
people were desperate.
Yeah, you could just get nicotine patches instead. Wouldn't you just rather do that? It's a lot safer if you have an addiction. Okay, so Domino's
That's how you
Pizza.
quit. You don't want to quit if you have an addiction.
Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. It's not an addiction. It's a guilty pleasure. How could I? How could I ever say that? It's a vice, right?
It's just a vice, like Minecraft.
Yeah.
It's
Minecraft is a
crazy.
much better addiction than vaping. Okay, so I say we put Domino's in B tier because it's really good, but the price is kind of off-putting. Is that fair?
And to anyone listening, when you go to MCRD San Diego, go to the cafe and get a churro instead.
When you
Like
go
the
to
lines,
San
like-
Diego, do not go to the Port Village and order Mexican food. Big mistake.
I actually got Mexican food at the Port Village.
What? You said you wouldn't.
I did. There. I went there with my family.
Oh. Oh, you went back to San Diego with your family?
I went back.
Oh. Okay, so I can't just
It's
say
not worth
I can't just drop a bomb like that and not tell and not put it on the pod, you know. So basically, I was on a vacation with my family to San Diego. There's a place called Port Village. It's like a fake it's like a fake fisherman town. It's like a simulacra of like an actual fisher port village. So
Schizophrenic people know what that is.
what a simulacra and simulation, that book. Yeah. So basically I went to the Port Village and there was a little like window where you could buy this Mexican food. I got a burrito. Kind of in the same style as like Costa Vida or Cafe Rio. We'll get to those, believe me. And got back to the hotel, instantly just start puking like everywhere. And it nearly ruined the vacation because I was just so sick and it kept everyone up and stuff. So I told Connor, because he was going to San Diego, I said, whatever you do not buy Mexican food from the Port Village. He wrote that down, but apparently you ate it anyway, despite my warnings. But I guess
I'm sorry.
you just want to live life on the edge, you know?
I went to that ghost house and they were closed. I was really mad.
The Whaley House?
I remember, I was like, oh, Ghost Adventures. So I went there and no, they were closed.
It was cool,
They only
but
opened
it's
at
not
night.
like you don't walk in there and then you instantly just become possessed. Like, I honestly, I mean, I can't make claims if it's haunted or not. That's not for me to decide, but, it was a cool house, but it's not like anything
What I
paranormal.
did there, it's haunted, but that's neither here or there.
What's haunted? What'd you say just now?
Never mind.
Never mind. Okay, so we got Domino's and B tier, so you can still see my screen, right?
Still see. I'm watching.
Okay, you're watching. Great. Ooh, we got a matchup. We got two here: Jersey Mike's and Jimmy John's. What do you think?
Jimmy John's more.
Okay, so I guess we got a fourth category. So we got burgers, chicken, pizza, and sandwiches. Sandwiches is like a small like category. I don't know. Maybe you could group sandwiches with burgers, or maybe
I was gonna say. No, but burgers are different.
yeah,
Burgers
they're
are
different. So okay, we just got a fourth category, but it's just kind of like a smaller subcategory. All right, so Jimmy John's, I think I'm gonna agree that one's better. You know what? Here, can you just yap a little bit longer? I'm gonna look up the prices. That'll kind of sway it a little bit.
Right. So, speaking of San Diego, everything there is expensive, and don't go to the nice hotels. This just reminded me of something. So today I went to the PX and I bought a razor. It was $10. It was one of those nice It had 10 blades. 10 blades for $10, so $1 a blade, and it came with the razor. In San Diego, after boot camp, I threw away my hygiene bag because it was disgusting and moldy. Threw it away, and I was in the hotel, and I saw I had facial hair. I had like stubble. I was like so ashamed of myself. I was like, oh man, I'm a shitbag Marine. So I sprinted down to the gift shop at the hotel. I'm like, okay, I need a razor. I saw like one of those dollar store razors that have like 2 blades instead of 3. They're literally like 90 cents. It was $10. So that's like what happens if you live in California. That's why everyone's either homeless or a millionaire.
All right, I think the shadow government is trying to. I think the shadow government is trying to hide the actual prices of these places to cover for inflation. You know, thanks Joe Biden causing inflation. You guys have switched to electric cars. It's not true, by the way. Don't believe that. Actually, don't believe anything we say. Don't take our word on anything, because when someone says just take my word on it, that's wrong. That's an interesting story, though. I'll be honest. I've used the same
It's going to
razor.
bring down the price.
I've used the same razor for the past at least 3 months, and it's worked fine. Used it this morning.
Shave every day?
Nearly. Almost every day, every other day. Depends if I need it. Then again, maybe I'm
Men
also...
don't touch your face and check?
I never touch my face and check. I mean, I did just now. Feels fine.
Do other men, like, come up to you and, like, say, lift your chin and rub underneath and feel? No?
Oh, what? I don't want men rubbing me the wrong, in weird ways. Anyways.
No non-weird way for a man to rub you.
I don't know.
He's
Depends where they're rubbing you.
Blessing.
Yeah, I'm also not the guy who's constantly growing facial hair. Maybe I'm, okay, so Domino's, B tier. Oh, we already went through that. Jimmy John's. So, like I said, shadow government is concealing the prices. I think Jimmy John's is a bit more expensive, but it is better. So, I don't think it's... I mean, they're pretty similar, but I do agree Jimmy John's is better. So, I say A tier. Can we agree on that?
John's is A tier?
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, actually, it is A tier.
So, Jersey Mike's, let's be honest, Jimmy John's is better, but Jersey Mike's, it's the same thing. I think that can also go into A tier.
They're the same thing. It's like Pepsi and Coke, okay?
Whoa. Slow down there.
They have the same shareholders. Pepsi and Coke have
Wait,
the same
really?
shareholders.
Is BlackRock behind this? Oh, no, they're real estate.
I own NVIDIA and AMD stock. Like, people own Pepsi and Coke stock. Like, these companies are not...
yeah, well, the same thing.
They
Same company, different product.
They sell the same product.
Well,
they
no, they're
sell
not
the
entirely
same
the same.
sugar water with different colored labels on them.
No, well, Pepsi is owned by PepsiCo. PepsiCo owns, stuff like Quaker Oats, KFC. It's a massive corporation. Coca-Cola is just Coke. It's just by themselves. What people forget is Dr. Pepper is just its own company. Mountain Dew is its own company. Not all these companies are, under the massive, Coke or Pepsi umbrella, big soda companies. Okay. I think Pepsi's better, like 7-Up is much better than Sprite. Okay, so Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, A tier. Yeah, we got that so far. All right, while we're on the topic of sandwiches, the little subcategory, Subway. That's a bit of a curveball, right? What do we do with Subway?
Subway is not C tier. Don't even put it there.
No, I didn't.
Okay?
I just put it there temporarily, just so we can see it on the screen. I say,
all right.
Subway.
Subway
B tier
has kept millions of college students alive. Subway has kept me happy and fed many a time. Okay, Subway is good.
All right, yeah. Well, yeah, I agree. All right, but we can't put 3 sandwich places in the same tier, though. One of them has to drop down.
Wait. The problem with Subway is you have to interact with people.
What? You got to do that anywhere.
No, but, you have to talk to them and say, oh, I want this. I want this. I want this. It's awkward, okay?
Make your friend do it for you. I don't know.
You're coming home from Minecon. You don't know how to speak to people. You're just asked a question about Wham, dedicated Wham.
Dedicated Wham.
You get food, you go to Subway. I know.
So.
Don't even get mad, okay? It's illegal to get mad.
Honestly, that's okay. I don't think anyone... If I can live in a world where no one gets mad. Just no one can put that into practice. People are incapable. So...
I've gotten mad in my life.
I mean, you live in a place where everyone's always mad all the time, right? Yeah, so...
Oh, speaking of always mad all the time, that kind of makes me think of,
Socrates?
Because he was mad all the time. No, Plato. Because they were making fun of the sophists, okay? And in class today, I had, my first actual class. It was exactly...
Oh, you got into your class. That's great.
Last night I was reading in Wikipedia about the sophists. Because I like sophists. I think they were pretty based.
I need to
I
look
was
into
reading
them.
their article. How they would teach
Sorry.
people is they would have them just sit and like memorize facts, and that's what Socrates didn't like. He liked the Socratic method, but they would just say the same thing over and over again. That was literally what our class was. So like, okay, guys, we're gonna talk about elevation of angles, blah 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 blah, and we just repeat over and over again.
Well, math doesn't
Just
lie.
like at boot camp.
I mean, if it's
Open May Johnson, 1918. Open May Johnson, 1918. You just say that over and over again. It doesn't even
Okay.
mean anything. You're just saying things.
if you're dealing with
Anyway.
numbers transcend the physical realms. So since our senses deceive us, numbers don't lie. That's what transcends nature. That's what binds nature. But I think the sophists make a lot of sense because they didn't believe in an inherent truth. They thought that reality was subjective. Who can make any claim about what is inherent, what is like definitive reality? Science changes, opinions change, and they used that and they took it and they used that to debate where they would the subjective reality would help them make claims, and people would come to them for kind of like legal help almost because they had this idea of subjective reality they could use in court to
People would want
trial.
them to train them, like, because in that democracy, it was a direct democracy in Athens. You had to be well spoken in order to get what you wanted done.
Well, I mean, if
Kind of
you're
what Athens was, a tyranny of whoever could like speak the best would be just.
I was going to say that makes sense, but then I realized there are many smart people who just don't have as good speaking skills. And we have people in the government right now who have really good speaking skills. Regardless of, I mean, Trump will sometimes go on weird rants, like Hannibal Lecter, thing, or the Harambe held that
great Hannibal Lecter.
Harambe held that child like a baby. You're going weird things like that. But he is good at. I do think he is good at public speaking to the people he appeals to. He appeals to a specific crowd, and I think with that crowd, he is very good at speaking to those people. Is that fair to say?
Get tired of winning.
What about winning?
You even get tired of winning. We're gonna win so much. That's my favorite speech ever made.
I heard the "We will build a wall" speech like on the radio back in the day.
Just it live.
I was there. Yeah,
I was there.
history in the making. Anyways, so yeah, the sophists make a lot of sense because I don't think anyone can really see reality with how it is since we only have like 5 senses. But yeah, they're interesting.
Where were you when Trump said Obama? Where were you?
Where was I? All right, this is getting too heavy. Let's go back to fast food rankings. So we never figured out Subway. So one of these has to go. So let's put them all in the A tier. Jimmy John's, Jersey Mike's, Subway are all in A tier. One of them has to go down to B tier. Which one is it?
I had a Jersey Mike's once that wasn't good because it was like old and like from a trash can. So
Okay.
That's why it's going down a tier. Because once I ate a bad Jimmy John's.
To be clear,
It's nothing with the company's fault. It was entirely my fault for eating it out of a trash can. But
okay.
I got sick.
All right, to everyone listening, to be clear, if Subway was abolished off the face of the earth, heaven forbid, I would do not want to live in a world without Subway. But if it was just Jimmy John's and Jersey Mike's on this list, Jersey Mike's would go up to A tier. But, we gotta choose. And Subway, so Jersey Mike's is just like Jimmy John's. There's no real difference, but Jimmy John's is, a bit better. It's a bit more iconic. I think Jersey Mike's is a bit cheaper, but price, we're going to appeal. We're going for appeal here. We will, decide price as a deciding factor, but,
Peeling is the only thing that matters.
it's a factor. I'm not going to Olive Garden for lunch every day. It's not that expensive compared to other places.
Going to Olive Garden ever.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about Olive Garden in a bit. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about Olive Garden right now. What do you think about Olive Garden?
Garden is like the fake fancy restaurant. Like you want to go on a date, but you don't
Yes.
actually like the person. You
Yes.
take them to Olive Garden.
Well, in that case, you could go to somewhere kind of casual. Like, for example, I guess not Chipotle. Costa Vida. Like, Costa Vida is not low rate like McDonald's get. It's not too fancy. Because if you take someone somewhere fancy, that's just awkward. So, this defeats the purpose of Olive Garden. You can go, if you're trying to go for somewhere higher rate, but not too fancy, go to Costa Vida or Cafe Rio. Why are you bothering with Olive Garden? It's a simulacra of a fancy restaurant. It's faking it. It's not real. It's not a fancy restaurant. There's kids crying, running up and down the aisle. It's like going to church. You're trying to
we
listen,
need to
trying to
write
get closer to
the
God,
apology of,
and there's some kid crying.
I
Ridiculous.
think what the owner of Olive Garden needs to do is reflect on their life, like Socrates would, and like you have to justify it. What made your life worth living? And I think there's no actual objective like value that they offer from Olive Garden.
Socrates,
They're not cheap. Like what they're not truth, they're not goodness, or they're not truth or goodness. So what's the point?
you know, the youth in Athens love Socrates. You know what? Let's look up CEO of Olive Garden. CEO of Olive Garden. Rick Cardenas.
Uh,
Oh, wait a minute. Dan
okay.
Kierman. Yeah, Dan Kierman. Let's see.
Gotta say the usual suspects. But never
This
mind.
guy. Okay, everyone listening, look at a picture of Dan Kierman. What does this guy have to show? You know, the youth of Athens loved Socrates. He was, he was like the at the time. You know what? Take that back. That is the word. I'm cutting that out. That is terrible. No,
No, that's
Andrew.
offensive to his legacy. He's like the
Okay,
founder of modern thought, and you compare him to.
sorry, I'm cutting that out. Okay, so
No, you're leaving
Socrates
that in.
was like, who is someone who's good for the youth? Bill Nye. He's like Socrates is like Bill Nye of Athens, but instead of science, it's philosophy. Dan Kierman, what does he have to show? What does Dan Kierman have that he has done? He
What
made
made
it.
his life worth living?
He
What did he
never,
base his value in?
and he never even he never even inherited Olive Garden. Well, no, he never made Olive Garden. He inherited it. The first guy, I think, I don't know, some other dude. So he inherited it. He worked for nothing. And Olive Garden is not even worth inheriting. Olive Garden isn't even a real fancy restaurant. It's for people who feel important.
Wait.
Sorry, what are you saying?
What are the three? We need three pillars of what is like absolute like objectiveness of a restaurant. Like what are its goals?
Three
I
pillars.
think
Oh,
there's
it's like the pillars of
The
Islam.
three pillars of a restaurant.
Okay.
There's quality, there's cost, and then there's like
Maybe
we need another one.
social dynamic. If you took your friends
Social
there,
dynamic.
how good of a setting is it?
Yeah, so if you want to diminish the quality, you also have to diminish the price. Otherwise, the pyramid is like it's a table. It's like one of those buildings, the Parthenon, like with the pillars. The roof will fall off if one is too high and one is too low. Then it's not stable; it'll fall.
Right. So we got places
Olive
like
Garden is not cheap and it's not good. It's neither. So it's not good. It's just a small building. It's a bad building.
all right. So we got a local place called Neaters. So it's very much a place for moms to eat, and that's fine. There's places that appeal to different people. So this is a mom place, like a white mom place. The social dynamic for that crowd is very good. The price, I think the price wasn't very good, but the food is kind of like lame. So we have these places, or there's another place called Blue Lemon. The social dynamic is for like really, it's like a corporate restaurant. Like the average thing you buy at Blue Lemon is like lettuce with like oil on it and then like sesame seeds. And then they call it a salad. It's disgusting. It's disgraceful. It's like you're trying to take someone somewhere, but you're too afraid to take a risk and say, "Hey, let's go to KFC." So you're saying, "Oh, let's go to Blue Lemon." It's like a corporate, safe version of fast food. Like imagine your buddy says, "Hey, let's go play golf." Sure, you get to play around with the golf carts, and that's fun, but it's a corporate sport. Is that fun to play a corporate sport? What do you think? These corporate places. The social dynamic is up there, but the food is terrible. The cost, who knows? So that is like you said, the building would collapse. Any thoughts on that?
You said it well. Like corporate, and just kind of boring.
It's beyond boring. It's terrible. It's torture. It makes me just want to like.
Torture. I kind of like in like a weird abstract way. You kind of like it, but it's not exciting.
It's like you're going there as a joke. You're like, oh, let's see this corporate food. Let's see what crap they're gonna serve us today. It's like a joke.
You could die at any moment. Do you really want to like have the possibility of the last place you've been, a corporate restaurant?
Yeah, you die right after eating Blue Lemon. Yeah, live your life on the edge. Eat Arby's every day. All right, so I think we agree. Jimmy John's and Subway on the same level. And yeah, the pillars that we went through just now, you couldn't have ordered it better. It needs to be balanced, and we can use that in our rankings. All right, let's do. We've talked about sandwiches. Let's. All right, Panda Express. So I'm just gonna put this in C tier just so we can debate on it. Panda Express. So we've said before, it's not necessarily fast food, but it's not fancy food either. So for all intents and purposes, it's good for our rankings. So Panda Express. What do you think? I'm gonna turn this over to you for a second.
It's so convenient. You just walk in and they have the delicious Panda Express food just ready. There's no waiting. You just walk in like, I want this, this, this. And then they put it in the weird Chinese cup thingies. And like, das is good, and give it to you. Oh, no, it's German. But, it's good. I love Panda Express. It's the last place I went before I left home. It's never been disappointed by Panda Express. And whenever I'm in the mood for food, like that's not enough. Like when you've had so many burgers, you want a cleanser to like refresh, like reset everything. You just go to Panda Express. Like
right,
I'm like, oh, I'm so tired of eating burgers every day. You go to Panda Express, and then you can eat burgers again for a week because you just reset your palate.
Sounds to me like Panda Express is. Does your family like Panda Express?
What is the only one that like drags people there? Like nobody ever's like, let's go to Panda Express. But like when I say let's go to Panda Express, like all right.
Okay, interesting.
Everyone's arguing like, Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, like those two staples of fast food, like the pillars. I say, why not we go Panda Express? And everyone always agrees.
This is an interesting dynamic. So we have these staples in the fast food scene. We have Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Wendy's. These are some big names. Then we have kind of like the underdog, Panda Express. They're not going anywhere. It's like Linux. Everyone's arguing Mac OS or Windows, and then Linux just sits there, does nothing, and wins. Right? Is that fair?
Yes, they do just win.
Okay, so Panda Express is like Linux, it sounds like. So, you have all this chaos.
The greatest analogy I've ever heard.
Sorry, what? What'd you say?
The greatest analogy I've ever heard.
So you have all this mind-numbing debate. You hear all these self-proclaimed, food critics. They're like, "Oh, this is good. This is terrible." And they're debating, but then Panda Express just sits there, somehow, winning. I think this is I agree, but there is one caveat, and this goes for KFC as well. So. You walk in, sure you buy food, but I feel like it's better when you buy it in kind of like bulk for a group. Like you buy like a carton of it. It's kind of cafeteria style, and I feel like it's better when you're buying the food for a group. Is that fair?
That's why I always take people with me.
All right, yeah, I went there.
I get a little bit of everything. I don't want to have like a whole plate of just like the same cold chicken. I like their like all of their things on their menu. So I go with people and get like one of everything, and like we mix it together in the middle, and we all take a little bit.
All right, so sounds like okay. So we have Panda Express. It sounds like it's a good change of pace. Are you always in the mood for it though? Like, could you just go to Panda Express every week?
I've never done it because like you forget about it. Like you just it comes to you.
So it seems like something you might revisit. But it's not a constant. McDonald's, I could go to McDonald's every week. In fact, I have a buddy. Maybe he's listening to this. We do go there all the time. And
American.
Yeah.
If I went to Panda Express every week, I wouldn't be an American anymore.
In fact, no. Actually, Panda Express comes from an American hotel. It's not even Chinese. In fact, half their food isn't even Chinese.
That's right, but pineapple pizza isn't actually Hawaiian. It's Canadian, but we still call it Hawaiian.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, people say, oh, hamburgers were invented in Germany or something like that. Who cares? It's American food. French fries
Everything good that you've ever eaten was made in America. Like, I'm just going to say right now, America, like, invented everything that tastes good. Like, those, like, Chinese food that you like to eat is American, because real Chinese food is natural, and we're not used to that, and it's gross.
For a country that has no state religion, no state language, no predominant culture, we do have predominant food. There is characteristic American food, and I'm not advocating for state religion, state language. That is not, I don't think that's a good idea at all. But we do have American food. That is one thing that is characteristically American. Is that fair to
Yeah,
say?
and we've actually taken over the world. Like pizza in Italy, they serve like American style pizza now.
That is our
Like
one claim
like
to fame. Everything else, we still are. We didn't steal it. Our government comes from Greco-Roman politics. Greco-Roman government. Our language comes from Britain. Our religion, we don't have religion. Everything else takes from somewhere else. But American food, that is one
God's
characteristic
country.
thing we do have. Like one thing that is a part of our identity as a nation.
So like like American food is in every country now. Like everywhere in the world has been like infected and replaced by American food.
And to everyone listening, obviously American. When I mean American food, I mean burgers, pizza, hot dogs, fries, that kind of thing. So
I mean, just like the way Americans prepare the food, like the processing and the like our style of cooking is like just taken over.
yeah, taking over the whole Western world. So Panda Express. So yes, it's there. Yes, it's a constant. It's not going anywhere. It's good with a group. I think
Put it at the very top of B tier.
B tier. Okay.
Top.
Yeah, there we go. B tier.
Honestly, I'd rather go to Panda Express than Jersey Mike's. Like if I could only eat at one for the rest of my life, it'd definitely be Panda Express and not Jersey Mike's.
More of yeah. They have more than just sandwiches. Okay. I'm gonna throw one out here. El Pollo Loco. Have you ever been there?
I think I went there once.
Okay, me
With
too.
my
So,
family.
the only time I think about it is when I'm thinking of Los Pollos Hermanos, El Pollo Loco. Los Pollos Hermanos. Yeah. So only Breaking Bad reference is what I think of. But El Pollo Loco, I did not like it. Their salsa was terrible. Their food was not anything special. There was nothing good about it. It's kind of like too fancy for. I mean, it's like the same level as like Chipotle. Like it's that level of fanciness. But so let's break it down. So. Quality of food, not very good. Prices, I'm pretty sure it was higher end, maybe about the same level as like Costa Vida or somewhere, not like Del Taco level. So it is higher end for its, for where it is. Social setting, I would say it would be good because it's like a sit down place, but not low rates like eating at Costa Vida. But the price and the food quality is bad enough. I say D tier or F tier. Is that fair? What was your experience?
I think my experience was spoiled by like a wait. I don't know why. I think when we went there was a wait. I have to wait a while.
I think we're playing it too safe. I say we throw it down an F tier, honestly. Like
I don't think we need to reserve F tier for one restaurant I have in mind. Like we're saving that for F tier, but
okay.
I think
El Pollo Loco,
D tier would be fine.
Okay, D tier, we can eat it. Like we can shove it down our throat. It tastes good. Like it's not like terrible. But there's much better. All right. So on a more positive note, Sonic. Have we been to Sonic together? I can't remember. I don't think so.
We haven't, but I've been to Sonic.
I say A tier. Is that fair?
Sonic's ice cream is actually surprisingly good. Like I remember, someone's like, "We're gonna go to Sonic for ice cream." I thought they were crazy, but no, it is A tier.
All right, I'm putting it to like first on A
Above-
tier. So,
above
whoever
Subway
listening,
for sure.
get their garlic butter bacon burger. It is really good. I know it might be kind of weird. They don't have like a cashier. You just press a button and order, but believe me, it's worth it. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. It's just really good. It's good for the price. Social setting. My friends and I have had we like it in there. It's quiet. There's like a bar. There's like a little bar stools.
No longer do the roller skate thing.
No, the whole thing is like a drive-in thing, but you can eat inside. It's fine. So social setting. I mean, sure, my friends like eating there. We like sitting there, but I think most people might find it kind of weird and quiet. So the social atmosphere is kind of not very good, but the price and the food, boosts it like way higher. And you could go to the drive-through. I mean, not all these places you're sitting down at. All right, so
Burgers are good.
Okay.
I think they're not as good as Avalanche Utah burgers, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Whataburger. Have we ever been there? Have you ever been to Whataburger?
I ordered it like a couple weeks ago, actually.
Was it good?
I think, ordered it just to see because like I had it once in Texas a long time ago, and they tell us every time. People would say Whataburger's great. Like they were like at boot camp, the argument was always Whataburger or In-N-Out. And for some reason, like I don't know, everyone was like glazing Whataburger because half of the Marines, like half of the entire country comes from Texas.
Okay, so
Um,
I used to
when I
think.
went there, I got a
Go ahead.
burger that was literally floating in a pile of mustard. Like
Oh
back then, I
gosh,
didn't really like mustard that much, but like
I
the
hate
bun
mustard.
was like floating. It was just floating on top of a sea of mustard, and you couldn't even see the meat or the bun below it. Like the plate was just yellow.
All right,
It
so
was disgusting.
I thought
But I ordered. Go ahead.
I
I'll finish
thought
my thought later.
Whataburger was called Waterburger. I thought Waterburger. That's a weird name, but we'll roll with it. And then I learned it was Whataburger. I'm like, oh, that's a much better name. I thought the debate was In-N-Out versus White Castle, but so Whataburger, White Castle, In-N-Out. That seems like a three-way debate now, like a new contender. So I actually could
White
see.
Castle in the debate between In-N-Out and Whataburger. Like people still don't know that White Castle has actual locations. Like I found that out like 3 months ago, and I was telling
Yeah,
everybody, "Did you know White Castle has physical stores?" They're like, "What? I thought those were just the gross microwavable sliders, which are not
yeah.
gross." Okay, the White Castle sliders you get from Aldi's are actually really good.
I just don't. I think the idea of sliders is just kind of weird. I mean, okay, so you can see the maps, and for everyone listening, so Whataburger is in Texas and parts of the South, and then it looks like um, New Mexico. So we could say this is we can just say it's maybe a kind of Midwest. Oh, and parts of Whataburger, Oklahoma, Texas, New Mexico, a few other places. So this isn't somewhere everyone's gonna be, and I've heard it's good, but I've never been there. So
Did you see what that map was labeled? Did you see that? Has a Whataburger, needs a Whataburger.
yeah, yeah. So Whataburger. So it sounds like your experience is kind of diminished by the service. Sounds
But
like
no, here I need to tell you, they had a comeback. I
really.
ordered Whataburger and it was good. It was like Five Guys good, but like not Five Guys price.
Five
So honestly,
Guys.
that makes it.
Five Guys is like C tier because its price is terrible, but we'll get there in a bit. So
Yeah, like imagine if Five Guys was affordable and that's Whataburger. Their fries were good.
okay,
Their fries were good. Their
all right. Name
burger
it.
was great. I got their bacon. Their bacon was really good. Honestly, I think it's A tier.
All right, yeah. Throw out
I'm
a.
convinced.
I was gonna
Everyone
say.
in Texas can rejoice. I like Whataburger now.
I was gonna say throw out a tier. I'll just believe you because I've never been there. So where is it? Waterburger. I just said Waterburger. Okay, Waterburger. Oh gosh, where do we put it? Oh, it's already on there. So A tier, Waterburger. All right. Would you say how does it compare to Sonic? Better or worse?
Ooh. It's. I think I would say Whataburger because that's where I went last. Like I haven't been to Sonic in like a year and a half, but I went to Whataburger like I ordered it like a week ago.
All right.
So
I've been to Sonic. I've been there like consistently. Would you go to Waterburger consistently?
honestly, it's like my new McDonald's. Like when I'm ordering like a burger, I just want a good burger. I don't order from McDonald's anymore. I always order from Whataburger.
All right. Um.
In case anyone's wondering why I order fast food instead of go there, it's because I can't own a car. Literally, I'm not allowed to.
All right. So we got a fifth category. So let's just a reminder. There was pizza, chicken, burgers, sandwiches. We got a fifth category now. Mexican. So, or sorry, let me be politically correct. Hispanic foods. Taco Bell.
Just say the
American perception of South American foods. There we go. Taco Bell. Let's see. I say Taco Bell. That has a lot of contenders. We got Taco Time, Del Taco. What's some others?
too many.
I think those are the big three: Taco Time, Taco Bell, Del Taco. Taco Bell kind of shines. Is kind of like I say it's better than
McDonald's
those
does
three.
tacos.
Del Taco, its whole thing is the price. Taco Bell, it has decent prices, but can get pricey if you make it pricey. Taco Time is, I think, the underdog. I used to be harsher on it, but I think I've kind of come around now. That's not on the list. We'll have to make a tier list eventually of just, just everything that's not on here. So,
I think
Taco Bell?
eating Taco Bell is like kind of like a sad thing to do. Like when I want a taco, I'll go to Cafe Rio. I'm not gonna go to. I'll never go to Taco Bell. Like if I'm eating Taco Bell, it's because it's the only thing, and that's bad. You're just sitting there eating your taco. It's not bad, but like it comes like when you're unwrapping your taco, it just doesn't feel right. I don't know. It just has sad vibes. Has like depressed 40-year-old man sitting in the parking lot vibes. That's what I get from Taco Bell.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
Like the quiet kid.
Taco Bell. I feel like we're being too generous with some of these rankings. I say C tier for Taco Bell. But since we're coming to consensus, I really like Taco Bell. But based on what you said, I say C tier. Is that fair?
B. It's not terrible. I think B.
B. All right. If all of it are at the top though, we might have to push some of them down if we can't find some bad choices. All right. Let's do something negative now.
Food. This is hard.
Let's do something.
That would be negative.
Culver's. Okay, I'll share my thoughts. Let's hear your opinion. What do you think about Culver's?
I had a neighbor. Her name was Mrs. Kins? No. What's her name? Vicky. Mrs. Vicky. And she'd sit there and she had those tubs of Culver's, like coffee. That's all like comes to mind. Like
wait,
her house
Culver's has coffee.
Like
you're serious?
Oh, it's Folgers, not Culver's, but that's what came to mind.
Okay.
I've never had Culver's, but I've had her house reeked of it. Like you couldn't even breathe the air. It was like 50% coffee.
All right, let me tell you.
Too much.
Let me tell you. Culver's is terrible. I hate it. Their whole thing is their ice cream, like Dairy Queen. But I've had their ice cream. I had their concrete or shake or whatever. Awful. It was like sludge. It was like mud. It was like actual concrete, but terrible, like dirt.
Worse than the cone?
The what cone?
Cone?
From Macy's?
I don't like that.
You don't like... What? No, Macy's has great ice cream. And if we're going off the pillars, the social setting for Macy's was really good. They got a little sit-down area. They're good for the price. Like
social setting is good. The price is good. But the ice cream is just ice cream. It's like the same ice cream. It's
well,
not
they
like
have Dole Whips, too.
I know, but it's just normal ice cream. Like, there's nothing special about it. That's what I think I'm getting the vibes you're coming from Culver's.
Okay.
It sounds like just sounds like the cheap, like, dollar, like, for a gallon bucket ice cream you buy. It's not good.
It's not.
Just ice cream.
I think, okay, look at my screen.
I hate generic ice cream. Unless the ice cream is really good, it's not worth eating.
Okay, so Culver's locations. Okay, so Great Lakes area. Mainly Great Lakes area.
None in my state?
There's none in your state. It's all over the country. East Coast to...
None in Maryland either. I grew up there, so that's why I've never...
Actually, no, this isn't even Midwest. This is like just the Great Lakes area, and then they're kind of like spread out. Except for Florida. Florida
has the Rust Belt.
But...
It's in the Rust Belt. What?
Think about this. In Colorado, there wasn't very many places to eat. So we would go to Dairy Queen. I know you like Dairy Queen. That's fine. But, in isolation, where we didn't have anything competing with it, it tasted a lot better because there was nothing better than Dairy Queen. I think these poor people in the Great Lakes area are experiencing the same thing. There's nothing contending with Culver's. But, where we, you live, Oklahoma, I live, in my own state. So, we do have something contending with Culver's. And I know Culver's is disgusting. Their food is terrible. One time I ordered a burger. It was a Swiss mushroom burger. There was nothing on it. No sauce, no lettuce, nothing. Literally just a burger. Just the burger, Swiss cheese, and what was left? The mushrooms. It was terrible. So I'm putting this down to F tier. It was awful.
Maybe that's why I've never heard of it. Like, I'd heard of the coffee brand more than I'd heard of the actual...
Well, you don't live in the Great Lakes area.
So bad.
Okay, so we got our first F tier.
I don't live where everything is gross, so that's fine.
All right, Pizza Hut. What do you think about Pizza Hut? First pizza ranking.
It's like pizza. I mean, like if you want pizza, you either order Domino's or Pizza Hut.
Do you
I
remember?
ordered Pizza Hut the other day.
Do you remember the like in elementary school they'd have like if you read 30 days you get a
Fried
little
chicken in a Pizza Hut, McDonald's. That song?
no if you they had like this little chart. If you read a book for 30 days, they give you a little personal
My
Pizza Hut pizza.
goodness. Okay, Pizza Hut is okay. Okay, now I remember what was it, Diary of a Wimpy Kid? If you read like 5 books from it, you get like a free pizza.
Okay, but that's
They
reflecting.
had
They can't win us
those cool
over.
crayons.
We were young
They,
at the
they had the
time.
cool.
They can't win us
They
over just
had
with a
the
promotion. It has to be good food. Like sure,
they had crayons that had like the 3 colors in one crayon, which were terrible.
okay. Can we? How about D tier? Is that fair?
D tier is like extreme. I think they're C tier. They're
Okay.
not bad.
Okay. I will
I mean,
admit,
I've never
last
paid
time I had
full
it,
price
maybe
for
they
them.
screwed up my order. I'll say that. Let's go with the pizza thing. Little Caesars.
Caesars is S tier.
So, all right, let's.
There is no S tier on this list, but I'm just let me explain. Little
Yeah,
Caesars, you get a giant box of pizza. It's amazing, and like you get the little Caesars like packets that you put on it. That stuff is good.
All right. So to be clear, I think we should. All right. I'm gonna. Never mind. I'll tell you in a second. So, Little Caesars. So I don't think the pillars that we outlined apply to Little Caesars since there's no expectation to sit down. There's no expectation. The expectation is this: quality food for the price. There's better pizza, the Little Caesars out there, Costco pizza, for example, but for the price you're paying, it's really good. There's no social dynamic, but that's fine because you're taking it out. So, is it better than Sonic though? I say it is,
I think it's better than Whataburger just because like it's Little Caesars.
but it does fit a niche. Sonic can cover multiple kind of areas. All right, so
It's like the staples of their thing. Like up in that tier, we have Sonic, which is the staple of its thing. Little Caesars is the staple of cheap pizza. But no, not even the staple. It's the gold standard.
right. So Connor, let me explain something. So we've hit an hour. We can keep talking, but I'm going to wrap this up for the first part. I'm just going to explain these. We can keep talking. So A tier. This is for everyone listening. A tier is first. We have this is in order of our opinion of these within the tier. So first, for A tier, we have Sonic, then Little Caesars, then Whataburger, Jimmy John's, and Subway. B tier, we have Panda Express, then Jersey Mike's, then Domino's, then Taco Bell. C tier, we have McDonald's, then Dairy Queen, then Pizza Hut. D tier, El Pollo Loco. F tier, Culver's. All right, so next time, probably the part 2, we'll cover the rest, and maybe in part 3, we'll make our own tier list on everything that's not on here, maybe some local ones, because I have a lot of people probably listening locally. All right, so that should be it.